Howdy, all. I'm Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, and if you are familiar with my channel at all, you will know that I am a very old school wrestling fan. I was there when it took off in the 80s. I loved it. There is still a little Hulkamaniac inside me. I still bleed red and gold. I take my vitamins, I don't say my prayers, but I still bleed the red and gold. I worshipped wrestling as a kid. I loved it. I had toys, played video games, watched it all the time. My parents got me there was a period in the late 80s into the late 80s into early 90s where I got every pay-per-view. I never missed a WrestleMania, I never missed a SummerSlam, and never missed a Survivor Series, because back in the day that's all there was. Those three, those are it. And then in the mid 90s when the Monday Night Wars started, I switched to WCW because WWF, which was still WWF back then, was getting stale. Then they rebranded for WWE. And I loved it all. I loved it all. So much fun. I have all my memories of all my great storylines, my still favorite wrestlers. I love it. Into the modern day, things changed. I dipped out, in and out, came back in when WWE really became the only thing. Never went to those other ones during the time. I don't know what they're called anymore. They all kind of failed. AEW is the only one that kind of hangs on now. But I have a love-hate relationship at this point. I would buy the modern video games, which I really loved, SmackDown versus Raw, the WWE, the pre-2K series. Then when it went to 2K, it fell off, and that was part of what became the hate relationship, because they started to nerf all the great aspects of the games, all the customization, all the creativity you could put in there. They started to nerf it, get rid of stuff, and I hated it. And then at the same time, it got predictable. Same faces, same heels, in and out, nothing new, not pushing the right guy as far as I was concerned, and the same storylines over and over again. But I still I dipped in and out up until about 2019. And after that, when the that show which shall still not be talked about on YouTube happened around the world, I dipped out completely. Even stopped looking at the website to keep track of wrestlers and events and results and all kind of stuff. For a moment, thought AEW might be a thing, but because I was really into CM Punk too, I really enjoyed Punk on his way out and his tail end of WWE. But then he came back to AEW, and then he had to open his mouth about real world shit, and I completely lost interest. That simple. Where are we now? Last year, one Vincent Kennedy McMahon was ousted because it was revealed that, oh no, Vince McMahon had affairs with a lot of women, and he paid a few off. It was consensual. I don't care. I didn't care. But fine, Vince was pushed out. He retired as the majority shareholder of the company still. And we thought that was it. It was the end. It was Stephanie's time to be CEO or joint CEO, and it was Triple H's time to be the talent manager, to be the brand manager, to really push the stories out. Well, apparently he still isn't doing very well. Which is why now, in the past couple of days, in a very interesting reversal, Vince is back. Vince has used his muscle as primary shareholder to get a seat back on the board of directors, and also kick off a few and return some of his allies right here. Per new SEC filing, Joellen Lyons Dillon, Jeffrey R. Speed, and Alan M. Wexler have been removed from WWE Board of Directors effective immediately by McMahon via a written consent order, as he remained WWE's largest shareholder following his retirement. McMahon is now the executive chairman of the company, and his allies and former WWE co-presidents Michelle Wilson and George Barrios joining him in the other two vacant board seats. In addition, WWE announced the board members Ignis Lahoud and Manjit Singh have resigned effective immediately. The new filing comes one day after McMahon announced he returned to WWE to explore a possible sale, as well as negotiate new media deals. That's the big deal then. What is going on? Because as soon as he's back, boom, company shares are up 20%. Their highest in 3 years. Over $84, $85, $86, something like that. What does this mean? Does this mean I'm backing on wrestling? No, it doesn't mean anything. I'm not getting into wrestling again. They haven't produced a good video game in years. The talent they can't control their talent. Talent are breaking character all the goddamn time and talking about shit I don't want to hear about. I don't want you to break character. Keep my suspension of disbelief intact. At the same time, WWE going PG was the biggest mistake they ever made. Let your divas, I'm going to call them divas, go F yourself. Oh, they're all superstars. No, they're divas. And they were hot for a real last long time. But when you stopped letting your divas be hot, when you started policing them in their own private individual pages, we're looking at the Mandy Rose situation from a couple of weeks ago, that you got a problem because you're driving away the sex appeal. And then you're also pushing talent nobody cares about, pushing stories nobody cares about. In the end, what's going to happen if WWE sells itself, if it gets bought by somebody else and new media deals, new networks, isn't that? What's going to happen? That's a brave new world, if you ask me. Because it would not be bought by a single person. It would probably be bought by a joint group, or however you want to describe it. A group of investors would pool their sources, and largest shareholder would then be the one in charge to appoint shit, new board of directors, all that fun stuff. But that's the change. Because WWE, from WWF to WWE, it has been a McMahon-owned company for its entire life. My entire life. Yeah, I'm old. Shut up. My birthday's in a couple days. Does this mean they will shift gears? Does this mean they'll start having it be maybe a little more adult-oriented, not so goofy, but actually investing time in serious athletes and serious fun, good storylines, pushing fresh talent, not just boring ass same shit over and over again, which we've had for years? If that happened and I heard good things, maybe I'd check back in. Because let's be honest, the fact that you have to bring back John Cena again to push ratings on SmackDown like they did last week, that's not a good thing. Because you know what? John Cena, and I used to be a John Cena fan, John Cena has lost a lot of influence as far as I'm concerned. When you bend over for Winnie the Pooh Bear, you don't get my fun anymore. You don't get my support. And then they haven't created a good league anymore, or a good roster. No bench, no good stables. What happened to all the great stables? I miss the days of the Four Horsemen. I miss the days of when the NWO would go, yeah, I know that's WCW, but still, it's all the same now. I miss the great era of awesome tag teams, Heart Foundation, Demolition. Oh, I miss the good stuff. They don't have that anymore. Tag team division's been shit for years. They have too many goddamn belts. They're trying to be too, like I said, they're not divas anymore. They're all superstars. No, trying to bring in talent that sucks. I'm sorry. Bringing in Brock Lesnar 2 or 3 times a year, that ruined it for me for years. Brock Lesnar was never good as far as I was concerned. He was not good. Just comes in, steamrolls everybody, and then disappears. Boring. Ronda Rousey, boring. Big name here, boring. They didn't create a good farm. The NXT farm system in the end failed. So if they sell, at the moment, if it does sell, it doesn't change anything. But if they go on, if a couple years down the road, they seem to have got their shit together, if they make a good new media deal with somebody that isn't 2K Sports to make a good video game where they return all the great customization, then you got me. Then I'm back. Maybe I'm thinking about coming back. Because the thing is, if I can think about a video game and I can get in there, customize, make a finishing move, build a stable, a lot of original characters to meld with existing characters, accurate rosters, not charging me $10 for a bunch of DLC roster additions that don't goddamn matter just because I want an accurate roster. That's not good. That's not fun. Give me something fun. Give me media deals that are good. Keep pushing good shows, good pay-per-views. Stop worrying about bending the knee to overseas powers to get pay-per-views around the world. I don't care about that. I just want good action, good characters, good stories, and you know what? Hot chicks too. Call me old-fashioned. What's going to happen with this? I don't know. But if WWE does sell to a new owner and it's not McMahon owned anymore, maybe these new owners would have some balls. It would change the world of wrestling. It would, because suddenly it is the era. It would be officially over then. Until then, right now, as far as I'm concerned, unless it comes around to really sound cool, you've got no chance in hell of getting me back. All right, I'm done. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would be very much appreciated. If you're new here, I invite you to subscribe to me right here on YouTube, where I hope to earn your trust and support using facts and logic, because facts and logic do not care about whiny standing SJW fee-fees. Hit the notification button, share my video if you like what I'm preaching, and by all means, leave comments. Love to hear from you guys. I care what you think. I don't care what the stands and the SJWs think, because 201, they're all cowards behind keyboards, and I can't wait for them to be triggered every single time. Thank you again for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therennerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.